kitchen today, and I'll be making a Caesar salad with homemade croutons. And this dressing does include anchovies, and I'm not a big fan of anchovies, but in this recipe they really work. So let me bring the camera in closer, I'll show you the ingredients, and we'll get started. You'll need bread for the croutons, anchovies and garlic, some lemon, salt and pepper, Parmesan cheese. Today I'm using Parmesan Reggiano, a block of it and some shredded, mustard, Worcestershire, and olive oil. And if you like, you can use like a vegetable oil. I have some grapeseed oil here today, if you want a mixture of oils in your dressing. To make the croutons, I just have a small loaf of French bread here. But you can use stale bread and basically any bread that you want. And I just kind of cut it up into crouton-sized chunks. You might want to tear your croutons. Some people say that it makes for a nicer crouton, but I really like to just cut them. It's quicker for me. And I'll place the croutons onto a baking sheet that I just lined with some parchment paper. And I'll add a little bit of olive oil. This is extra virgin olive oil. And I don't really measure it, I just kind of make sure there's enough to get it mostly coated. And then I'll add some salt and some pepper. And I'll give that a toss. And then I'll just spread it out so it's in one layer. And this will go in the oven 375 degrees for about 10 to 15 minutes till it's nice and brown. And I have two fairly small size garlic cloves. Actually, this one just turned into two. And you really want to just decide for yourself how much garlic you want in your dressing. Start with a little, and then if you want more, you can always add more to it if you want a stronger flavor. And I'll cut those into smaller pieces. And I'll put them into my mortar and pestle. Now you can use your very same knife that you're chopping with to mince them into a smaller size and then add salt to make a paste. I find it really easy just to use this little mortar and pestle. I'll add a pinch of salt and then I'll just mash those together. And then I'll use my rubber spatula to get all the garlic off and scrape it out. That's what it looks like. And I'll use 1 can of anchovies. This is a standard size, it's 2 ounces. And I don't use all the oil that's in the can. I just pull out the anchovies like so. And again, if you've never made this dressing, start out with maybe half of the anchovies and see how you like the flavor. Put that right in with my garlic. You'll need 2 egg yolks. So I just have this measuring cup that I will separate the yolk from the white. And I'll put the yolk right in there with my garlic and anchovies. And I have 1 lemon. I will use think about half of this lemon. You want to use about 2 tablespoons. Again, you can always adjust the quantity. I'll whisk all that together. And I'll add about a teaspoon of mustard. And a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. Whisk those all together. And I'll add a splash of Worcestershire. Just a little teeny bit, it's just to add a little extra boost of flavor. I'll add the rest of my oil, and this is about 1/2 cup. And it's mostly olive oil. I did add some grapeseed oil in there. More whisking. Totally combine that. And then I'll add a little bit of shredded parm. It's, again, the Parmesan Reggiano. It's about a tablespoon. Whisk that in. I'll add 1 more tablespoon. And some fresh ground pepper. Now at this point you would taste it and adjust whatever ingredients you need to adjust. I would like a little bit more lemon. That looks good. The lemon did the trick for me, and then I'll just do a couple more pepper. And the croutons look beautiful. You can see they're crispy, lightly browned. That took about 12 minutes. I have my romaine lettuce. This is actually hearts of romaine that I've washed and dried using my salad spinner. And I do have a video on that, and I'll link to it here for you. And a lot of people like to serve this, like if you go to a restaurant, they'll leave the leaves whole, but I like mine cut up in bite-sized pieces. Lettuce in a bowl. I'll top that with some croutons. And I'll mix that up. And I'll add a little bit more. And top it with some more pepper. And then I'll take my Parmesan Reggiano and just use my vegetable peeler and just add a few shavings right on top. There you have it, a delicious Caesar salad. And if you noticed, I didn't add additional salt at the end because the anchovies and the cheese made it plenty salty for me. So make sure you taste before you add additional salt. This would be great with some grilled chicken or shrimp or some avocado. So thank you for watching. I hope you give this recipe a try, and I'll see you next time.